Hello, my name is Chef Teresa, and welcome to our show, Food is Medicine. Okay? Today we're going to be doing, showing you how to make homemade pasta, as well as making a mother sauce, a secondary sauce, and we'll finish the final plate. Okay? And I'll go on to introduce one of my students. Okay?
Hi, I'm Amber, and I'm a student. And
Where are you from?
I'm from the Koshana Nation up in Lillooet, and also my mom is from Glasgow, Scotland.
Hi, I'm Makita Martin, apprentice to Chef Teresa. We met at BCC. I also have Scottish blood, so that's something we have in common, Amber. From the East Coast, Micmac and Arawak, from southwestern Ontario, Mohawk and Plains Cree from the Michigan area.
And then today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make homemade pasta, but not that you're going to have that in your bag. We're going to send you some freshly made pasta, which will be easier to make. So if you wanted to be adventurous and you want to make your homemade pasta, what you can start with is, this is 2 cups of flour. You just kind of put it on your cutting board. And what you're going to do, you could use different things. You could use whole wheat flour if you like. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a well. This is how they traditionally make it. And then here I have 3 eggs. Okay, you just put it in there, into your well. Hopefully it doesn't run over too much. And then you add some oil to your mixture, and you just start adding and start moving this around. Okay, it's got oil. It moves around. It's going to make a nice little dough. Okay, just keep going.
Did you mix the eggs first, or were they still?
Nope, they were just cracked, and we just put them into the well.
Okay.
And then you just start mixing your dough. Okay. And then you just keep going until it starts sticking together. Okay.
Chef, what's the difference in cook time between a fresh and a packaged pasta?
Okay, well, if you're doing a packaged dried pasta, you would end up using 8 to 10 minutes once the water is at a boil. Not necessarily a boil, more of a simmer. And then with the fresh pasta, it only takes minutes. Okay, you want to make sure when you're cooking your pasta, you're cooking it till it's al dente. Okay. So you just keep working your dough until it starts forming a ball. And once it's formed a ball, then what you're going to do is you're going to need to make it rest. So once you have it the way you're wanting it and it's sticking together, you take some plastic, and then you're going to saran wrap your dough, and then you're just going to let it rest in your refrigerator for about 30 minutes. Okay? Okay, let's just put that in there. Okay, and I mean, there's different things you can add to your pasta dough if you're wanting. You could add beet juice, just to change it to a nice color. You could add turmeric if you want. Turmeric's really good for, turmeric and black pepper is good for as an anti-inflammatory, but you can make turmeric pasta. You can also do a whole wheat pasta if you like. Okay, so we just so happen I've already made our dough here. Okay, it's been in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to cut yourself a piece. And then you flatten it out, and here I have a pasta machine. Okay, so what you do is you're going to start at the lowest number, and you're going to start pushing it through. Okay, just start at 1, just so it goes. Okay, can you give me a hand while I push this through? Just yeah, turn it. Okay. Okay. Keep going, push, push,
Here it
push,
goes.
push. Yeah.
Can you get there at the bottom? You'll see it coming through.
Okay. Keep going. Good workout.
So the thickness adjusts. So if you're doing a spaghettini, a fettuccine, a linguine, angel hair.
Yeah, we'll get that to that part as soon as we get it through. Okay, we're just about through. Okay. Okay, we got one through. Okay, and then you take it to the next level. And you do it again. Okay, start rolling.
It becomes easier.
Yeah, just let me grab it here. Okay. Okay, okay. Then you go up one more. Okay, go for it. Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. Just take that piece off. One more notch up. Keep going. Okay, can you grab it when you're coming through? Yes, that would make life easier. Okay. There we go. Okay. I think that's pretty good. It's nice and thin. Maybe we'll just do one more time.
So we're at a number 6.
Yeah. Okay, last one. Okay. Okay. Keep going, sorry. Keep bumping into you. I'm left-handed here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we got it to where we want it to be. So we're going to switch nozzles. Okay, best thing to do is also keep some flour on hand so it doesn't get all stuck together. So we're going to switch nozzles to the other side. And what we're going to do is they have two options here. You can make a fettuccine if you like, or you can make an angel hair pasta. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the fettuccine portion of things. So if you start rolling, okay, you're going to start to see it starts coming out here, already cut, ready for you. Okay. So you have angel hair pasta here, or sorry, fettuccine pasta. Best thing to do is always add a little bit of flour on it, just so it stays, it stops from sticking. Okay. So right now, I'm just going to let this sit for the moment, and then I'm going to get Amber to explain to you how she's going to be making her mother sauce. Okay. You may begin. There's 5 mother sauces, and she's only doing one of them, which is the tomato verb. Okay? Amber?
I'm going to start by putting some oil into a saucepan. And then I'll be adding some diced onion and some garlic. And I'll be cooking that until until the onions are translucent.
This is a family-friendly, like my kids love making fresh pasta.
Of course, I mean, there's different things you can do with the pasta. You can also make a ravioli if you want, or you could just leave it flat and make a lasagna. Okay? So you're sauteing your onions and your garlic.
Yeah.
Smells delicious. Okay?
And today we'll be using pureed tomato sauce, but you can also use make it from scratch and use fresh tomatoes and then blend it, but for convenience, we'll be using already pureed.
And this recipe is using 2.5 liters of tomato sauce.
Yes, but you can use canned tomatoes and then puree it if you like at the end. Yeah, for sure.
Smells good.
No, very delicious. Okay. All right. So, what are we going to do next now? What are we ready for? The tomato sauce?
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll notice how she's pouring the sauce away from herself. That way with the oil, it doesn't splash back at you and
Yes,
make you dirty or burnt.
Or burnt, yes. So how long are you gonna let that simmer? For at least 30 minutes. But I mean, if you have more time, the longer you simmer something like that, the more opportunity it has to capture all the different flavors in your sauce.
And then to this, we'll also be adding some thyme, oregano, and basil.
You'll find with mother sauces, and like Chef Teresa was saying about flavor, you get different flavor potential with fresh versus dried spices. I find with red sauce, for example, I really like to use dried thyme or Italian seasoning oregano, and then to finish it off with the fresh herb, because if you cook with your fresh herbs, they'll tend to turn brown.
But with the other sauces too, you could do a sauce like a bechamel,
Yes.
which is a milk sauce, which could be used for pasta.
And we covered roux.
Yes, we covered roux on when we did chowders.
So that's your base. It's a white sauce, and that would later become your Alfredo. So we have fettuccine. If you have fussy budgets in your household, a red sauce and an Alfredo could be an option. So a pasta party, you could have, people could make their own ravioli, fettuccine, or angel hair. And red sauce tends to be heavy, same with an Alfredo or a white sauce. So that's really good on the heavier noodles like a penne, a rigatoni, a spaghettini. Angel hair pasta you'll find used more with clams, clam linguine, same thing, thinner pasta, more of the flavor is towards the protein, the oil, the garlic.
Okay, so now that we have the tomato sauce, we're just going to let that simmer, and then we'll have Makita go in to show us how we're changing this mother sauce into a secondary sauce by using pork as well as ground meat and veal. So we're going to be showing you how to make a bolognese sauce. Okay, so we'll just put that on the side here. Okay. Turn that up. Okay. All right. Okay.
It's important to keep your handles in so they don't get...
It's for safety, so your apron doesn't get caught on that, and then you end up having an accident.
My oil got used.
You've got fat in your oil there.
So the meat has enough natural fat. So we're gonna wait just a minute until the pan heats. If we don't let it heat up, the meat will stick. So I'm just going to spread it. So as Chef Teresa was saying, we're using a combination of beef and pork for this. And it's very common to add veal as well. The meat would take about 5 minutes to cook generally, but the thing with cooking, you cook it until it's done. It could take 6 minutes, it could take 4. You want it nicely browned. Add a bit of caramelization on it. So I'm going to turn this down a bit. It's splattering. A red sauce is also another secondary sauce you can do with that, would be a marinara, and that could be for your seafood lovers. Shrimp, baby shrimp, clams, and that adds a nice flavor. You have puttanesca. So that's why pasta is so popular. It's very versatile, and you've noticed how easy it is to make fresh pasta. You can make it before the water boils, and it's affordable. It's one of those things you'll find on a lot of restaurant menus because of its price point. It's a really easy thing to prepare, and it's affordable, and a lot of people like it.
Once you've tried fresh pasta, it does not compare to the dry pasta you buy in the store. It's so rich, so delicious. Once you try the homemade pasta, you kind of get spoiled with wanting to have it. But like I said, as Nikita was saying, it's very easy to make.
So as it says, about 5 minutes, we're about 3 minutes in.
Okay.
And like I said, with the bolognese, it's pretty simple. I mean, you've already got the onions and garlic in your tomato sauce that it's simmering on the side here. And then she's going to be adding some spices to her.
A mix of spices. I have a teaspoon of paprika and crushed chilies. So I'm just going to sprinkle that in and stir it. So all the pink is gone. And because we're using leaner cuts of meat, there's not a lot of fat in this, but if you find a fattier meat, you can just pour off the excess oil. And then we have our Italian seasoning. It's about 1 tablespoon. And keeping in mind, like Chef Teresa said, we also have herbs and spices in the mother sauce already. So this is done. I'm going to remove it from the heat because we don't want to overcook it. There's always going to be residual heat in a metal pan. So we'll remove it from the flame. I'll turn this down.
So what are you going to be adding next? Tomato sauce?
I'm going to add the tomato sauce. So we have 2.5 liters. We'll use half. So I'm going to be a bartender here in 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Again, pouring it away. I'll cut that heat here.
It just all depends on your consistency. If you want more meat or sauce, keeping in mind when you're doing pasta, it tends to absorb a lot of the liquid. So you probably want your sauce to be a little saucier than usual, just in order to keep it compensating for once you put your pasta with your sauce, it's going to absorb a lot of this liquid that's in your sauce. So you don't want to end up with a dried meat sauce. So you may want to add more tomato sauce. It's to your liking.
And notice how the meat is broken up. I know some people, they just throw the the ground meat into the pan and you get unequal portion sizes. So again, cooking time and flavor would vary. So you notice how consistent the sauce is throughout. Now, I know we're dealing with food as medicine, but all my Italian neighbors would put a little bit of, just a touch of sugar in, because tomatoes can sometimes be bitter. So that's the secret of a lot of
Well, you need
Italian red sauce. You taste it first,
Yeah,
because.
it can be tart because of the tomatoes.
So that being said, I'm going to get a spoon.
Okay.
And I'll
While she's getting the spoon, I'm just going to salt up the water for your pasta. Just some salt, and I like to put a little bit of oil, but don't over oil your water, because you want to make sure you put too much oil and your pasta is oily after you've strained it. Your sauce is not going to stick to your pasta. All right, so this is going to simmer for a while. We're just waiting for the water to heat. So I'm just going to move some stuff around here. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to move this out of the way so I can move it to the back.
move your Parmesan here and move this out of the way, please, Chef.
Okay. So that's
Hot.
a little on the hot side. Okay. We're going to bring this up. We're going to start the water. Okay. I'm going to put the sauce back here, just so that heats up a little bit more. Okay. All right. So over here we have our pasta. Okay, it's ready to go. I'm just going to take a little bit of this water out, only because I don't need that much water. I just want to make sure it's nice and hot. Okay, I'm just going to wait for it to simmer a little bit longer. Like I said, this one here doesn't take long at all. The best way, the term al dente basically means to the tooth. Your water is kind of simmering, it's not boiling, you don't want it to boil. The only time you would boil something is if you're blanching vegetables. So I'm going to add this pasta to the water, and this is only going to take not long at all. It's going to take 2 to 3 minutes. And the best way to taste, to find out if the pasta is done, you can do one of two things. You can take it and pinch it. If it pinches quite easily, then you know your pasta is ready. Or you can also taste it. That's another way of finding out if you're wanting to check to see if it's ready. But like I said, the difference between dried pasta and this pasta is the dried pasta takes 8 to 10 minutes, and this one here will take literally only 2 to 3 minutes. Okay. And like I said, if you have an opportunity to try homemade pasta, it totally changes your perception on dried pasta versus homemade. Okay. So this one's already ready. It doesn't take long at all. We're cooking on gas today, so it does cook a lot faster than it would normally on an element. So we're going to take your pasta and we're just going to strain it. Okay. You can do it one thing. You can put the sauce on top of it if you like. You can toss it in there. If you want, you can make meatballs and add it to your spaghetti, because I know lots of children love to have their meatballs. I know my little one loves his meatballs. I made spaghetti and the meatballs the other day, and somebody was hungry, so I gave him the food, and he came home and he was pretty upset that his meatballs got eaten. But okay, it's ready. It's ready. So, okay, I'm going to turn that off. I need my plate. I'm going to put it on a plate. Okay. So So I'm just going to put the sauce right on top of here.
Hot.
Okay. Okay. So the water's been strained out. Okay. We've got the nice sauce here on this side. Here's a spoon, please. The Parmesan cheese and a peeler. Okay. Spoon. Okay. Parmesan cheese, please. Okay. So we're just going to take our bolognese sauce once you've tasted it to your liking, and then you're just going to add it onto your pasta. You can mix it in if you like, it's entirely up to you. Okay. Okay. And then here I have some shredded Parmesan cheese if you like. It's like I said, buying it in a can versus buying it in a brick, which is like this. You buy it Parmigiano Reggiano. You try this, you never go back to the dried pasta. It's a little more expensive, but it's absolutely delicious. So if you just want to add a little more flair to your dish, I usually just use a peeler, and I peel some Parmesan cheese on top of it. Okay. I like cheese, so the cheesier, the better. Okay. Okay, so who's going to taste this today?
I think Megs is up.
Megs.
Yeah, I'll hold the camera.
Okay, Megs is our assistant here. I guess he's up now to be on this show. Okay, so the cameraman is going to taste this today. Okay, where's the fork? Okay, there you go. This is Megs. Okay, introduce yourself, Megs.
Hi, I was one of Chef Teresa's students back in VCC, and now I'm transitioned to being her assistant. So,
What department or what area of study at VCC makes?
hospitality management. So Chef Teresa was actually one of my professors, and now I'm transitioned to working for her.
So in culinary terms, he would be front of the house, and kitchen is back of
the
house.
yeah.
So we have to get along. Megs.
There you go, Megs. There you
Thank
go.
you so much, Chef.
And we made some bannock for you as well.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so give it a taste. Tell me what you think.
It's very good. You can actually taste the spices. And I guess that was what Chef Mikita was saying about using fresh ingredients as opposed to the store-bought ones. And you can tell that the cheese is good, the sauce is good, and the pasta really tastes different. So it's very good.
Good, great, all right. And then we're just gonna finish this off with Makita. She's got a message for you all out there. So go ahead, Makita.
So today across this nation, we take time to reflect upon the crisis of the murdered, missing Indigenous women and girls. I just sat in a conference this morning where we are talking about adding boys and men to that. There is a huge problem in our nation with abuse against our women. In Vancouver, especially the downtown east side where we operate, women go missing and murdered every day. We make it our priority to keep our women safe. And we hope that the people of this nation understand that this is not a problem that is strictly Indigenous. It's a problem that exists not only in Canada, but on a global scale. Until we understand how significant this problem is, it will continue. We cannot give up hope. We are not idle. We are here, and we will continue to fight to keep our women safe. And bon appetit, I have to put my mask back on. So the red hand represents the silencing, either through muzzling or through death. And I would like a march to come where we are only paying homage and celebrating the memories of those lost. We need to bring those numbers down. And thank you once again for joining our podcast. We look forward to returning next week with some healthy food, remembering food is medicine.
All right.